Good morning and welcome to KidNuz, generously sponsored today by the O'Brien family of San Francisco, California. I'm Tori. It's Thursday, April 1st, 2021. And we begin with big news for kids hoping to get back to a more normal life. Pfizer says a clinical trial shows its vaccine is 100% effective and safe on 12 to 15-year-olds, with side effects no worse than those experienced by adults. Depending on federal approval, inoculations could begin before the start of the next school year for middle and high school students. The company is also studying the vaccine in kids under 12 and gave its first shots to that age group as part of a test trial last week. That's the good news. Late yesterday, just the opposite. 15 million doses of Johnson & Johnson's vaccine were ruined due to a 2-ingredient mix-up at its Baltimore plant. None of the shots made it into circulation, so no one received the bad batch, but the mistake will delay shipments while the Food and Drug Administration investigates. Global music sensation BTS is making a splash, not with a song, but with a statement. The K-pop superstars shared a deeply personal message with their 34 million Twitter followers, speaking out about the recent wave of violence towards Asians, Asian Americans, and Pacific Islanders. In a message from all 7 members, which was delivered in English and Korean, they shared they too had been treated poorly at one time or another and been mocked for how they looked. It went on to say their own experiences are minor compared to what others have faced, but admitted it has chipped away at their self-esteem. Quote, "We condemn violence. You, I, and we all have the right to be respected. We will stand together." It hasn't even reopened yet, but Disneyland in California is already announcing plans to expand. The resort announced this week that it wants to refinesse parts of its original park, as well as areas inside California Adventures. If Disneyland Forward gets the city's stamp of approval, new shops, rides, jobs, and magic will pop up around the existing Paradise Pier and Disneyland hotels. The company hasn't announced themes for the new areas, but says it's considering pulling inspiration from other locations where they have attractions based on Toy Story, Zootopia, Frozen, and Tangled. As you know, today is April 1st, also known as April Fool's Day, when friends play pranks on one another. Historians say it started back in the late 1500s when the Pope ordered the calendar to be changed so New Year's was celebrated on January 1st and not April 1st. But some refused to accept this, so they were the victims of jokes, and the tradition stuck. Even big companies now get in on the fun. Yesterday, Volkswagen said an announcement that it was going to change its name to Volkswagen was an early April Fool's prank. In years past, Virgin Atlantic claimed it created a plane that used only wind energy with flapping wings. And Burger King once claimed it was introducing the option to buy a single French fry. In other Kid News notes, in addition to April Fool's Day, it's also opening day for Major League Baseball. A year after the pandemic upended sports around the globe, there are still restrictions in place. The number of fans in the stands will be limited in all stadiums for now, except the Texas Rangers, which will be at full capacity for their home opener Monday. And players seem eager to return to the diamond. Yankee outfielder Aaron Judge said, "I'm as fired up as ever." Last week, it was the American bald eagle. This week, it's the California condor. With a wingspan of almost 10 feet, it's the largest soaring land bird in North America. And for the first time in 100 years, it's being released back into the Pacific Northwest. The condor was once on the brink of extinction, but its population has bounced back, and this month, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service is opening up a new facility to release 4 to 6 baby condors into the wild every year for the next 20. That's it for Kid News. Now, the Kid News quiz. What vaccine is 100% effective at protecting young teens from coronavirus? Pfizer, according to a trial in kids 12 to 15. Which super popular musical group just made a statement against violence and racism? Korean band BTS. What century was April Fool's Day started, according to historians? The 1500s. What bird that was on the brink of extinction is returning to the Pacific Northwest? The California Condor. And one for the road. A book by the author of the popular Captain Underpants series has been pulled by the publisher Scholastic over concern that it didn't show people of Asian descent in a positive light. The Adventures of Ook and Gluck was written 10 years ago, and author Dave Pilkey says he created the book to showcase diversity, equality, and peaceful ways to resolve conflicts. But he says he fully supports the move to stop distribution and promises to do better to avoid even subtle messages of racism. He also pledges all royalties from the book will go to nonprofit charities helping children in underserved communities. Before we go, we want to give a shout out to some of our KidNuz classrooms, starting with Mrs. Bozeman at Repton Junior High in Repton, Alabama, Mr. Cool at Top of the World Elementary, where they love KidNuz, in Laguna Beach, California, Mrs. Gordon at Patterson Park Public Charter School in Baltimore, Maryland, in New York, Ms. Capelli, who says her 20 amazing students are rocking their year at Immaculate Heart of Mary School in Scarsdale, and Mrs. Bowden at Goshen Intermediate School in Goshen. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We hope you tune in for more KidNuz tomorrow morning.